Okay, hello. So this video is going to be about the rotations, the last part of the checklist. We just did the videos for the reflection, right? We covered the first 3 slides, and now we're looking at the last one, for rotations. Okay, so you see the checklist says, again, we have to see the title, should say the rotation, and it should tell us what kind of rotation we're doing. We have to do the Desmos graph, okay, so the image graph needs to be on the slide, and then I need to have the points labeled as A, B, C, and then A prime, B prime, C prime, and so on, okay? You need to be precise about what kind of rotation we have. What's the center, okay? Just go ahead and do the origin, so we'll talk about how to make that happen. And make sure you tell me which direction we're going and how many degrees. So if it's 90 degrees, you have to say that. You can't just say counterclockwise. If it's 180, then you got to tell me that, okay? And just understand that you have to know this when you see it. So this is definitely the hardest one. Let's go talk about what. First thing you got to do is understand that a rotation needs a center. So if you don't observe the center, this problem is going to be impossible for you, right? So you want to find an image that has a center. In this case, I found this, and we talked about this before. We did this yesterday in class, right? I noticed that these triangles are kind of revolving about this center right here, right? So if I zoom in a little bit, we try to line that up so we get it right in the middle. So we get some symmetry on both sides here, okay? And if we do this correctly, now all I got to do is add some points. So we're going to go ahead and create A equals, just put 0, 0, and put that in some parentheses. Okay, copy and paste that 3 times. Since we're doing a triangle, it shouldn't take too long. So I'll try to make this video quick. And again, we did this in class, so you guys should kind of know what to do. But here's one last example, okay? So I got A, B, and C. I'm going to go drop these on top of these 3 locations. And don't forget, since green light means go, we're going to turn all of these points green. And after I create those, we're going to go ahead and make a polygon containing them. So A, comma, B, comma, C. Let's turn that green so we can see it. Okay, now, if you ever accidentally erase something, hit the back arrow and it'll come back. So I want to notice how we don't really have a right triangle because these coordinates don't all match up, right? If this is 1.8 and that's 1.8, then we know that this point would be going straight up and down. But you see how this is 1.8 and that's 1.74. So if I was to make this 1.8, we have something that looks a lot more like a right triangle. So we can tell this is going up and down because those 2 coordinates match. And we can tell this is going left and right because those 2 have the same y coordinate. That didn't take very long, so we got the first one, so just label them. A prime, B prime, C prime, like I said. Sorry, A, B, and C. Then make sure you move around the labels so that they don't eat up too much space, so it's clear what we're looking at. So put B, A, B, and C, have their points labeled. This is ready to go. Now we just have to rotate it. So we're going to do a 180-degree rotation for this case, okay? And the way I tell you to do a 180, to make life easy, let's copy all these points, and let's paste them down here, and then we're going to change their names, because we already have A, B, and C, so now we need D, E, F. So go down here, call this D, then E, and then F. And now what does it mean to rotate a point 180 degrees? So we did a 180-degree rotation, and we saw that to do that one, you have to take all the points, and you have to change the sign of both of them. So if I make this negative and make that negative, I've just rotated D, right? But that's really A prime. Okay, and then we want this one to be red. Okay, so you can see A prime got rotated 180. Now I'm going to go here and change both of these into negatives. You can see that one also got rotated. So E is going to be B prime. Now I'm at the last one. Okay, to do a 180 rotation, I just have to change the sign of both of these. Okay, and make that C prime. Change that color to red, and then create the actual polygon. So now we have this thing complete. Oh, I put the wrong letter. See, A, B, C is not what I should have. I should have D, E, F. All right? So I was wondering why the color changed. D, E, F. Okay, so double check your work. This looks good. You can see if I connect B and B prime, it goes straight through 0. If I connect A and A prime, it'll go straight through 0, and C prime will go straight through 0. So this is a rotation 180, okay? This is complete. The only thing we got to do now is represent everything onto the slide. So the math part is done. Now it's just about communicating it. So we'll take the coordinates. That's good enough probably. We get onto the rotation slide. And we'll paste that in. And again, we're just going to write what we did. We did a rotation 180 degrees about the origin. It doesn't matter whether we went clockwise or not for this case because we'll end up in the same place. So we don't bother specifying clockwise or not when we're looking at these transformations. Okay, but in real life it would matter because you would be going backwards and maybe that's not okay. So now I might stretch the slide out a little bit so that it fits. Center it. You can send it to the background. So go order, center back if you need. I'm almost done, fellas. So here, this text box might not need to be so large, so I can make it smaller. And then I need to have something that we're looking at, right? So don't forget our little label. I'm going to get a different label right now. I'll get the smaller one. And I'll put it over here. And again, you guys know that we're looking at the super blocks of Barcelona right here. All right, so we'll just say Barcelona super blocks. Put that on the side so we know what we're looking at. Now I just need my points. I want to represent all of those. So before, we've been taking these text boxes. So go ahead and take one. I'm going to copy it, and then I'll paste it over here. And now I get my text box. And I need 6 of them, right, because I got 6 points to label. So just control where you put everything. And line everything up, okay? So I hope you guys can see how we're lining that up. And then where does the label go? Where's the best place to put it? Maybe here's the best place, maybe over there's the best place. It's up to you. You can handle this a couple different ways. I might be able to make the text box more square and then fit everything over here like that so that it doesn't eat up so much space. It's up to you to manage how you want to communicate that. I'm not going to do that for you, so that part you kind of handle. Okay, and then I need 3 more for these points. And if I label them, this thing will be done. So you guys will watch me do that last part just to make sure that I do everything. But I'm hoping you guys see that this doesn't have to take forever, but you do have to find an image, and that's where I think a lot of you guys are falling off. And even when you do find an image, you guys are not finding something with a good enough example and putting the coordinates in the right place. Let's go back here, look at these ones. I'll take a screenshot of these, and I'm just going to paste that on the slide so that when I type, I can do it quickly without going back and forth. Okay, so we can see that A is 0.67. We go 0.67. That was not planned, by the way. We go 6, 7 people. All right, and then this one is 1.8. So just make sure you got a little bit of space for everything. All right. B says it's 1.8, 0.88. So put that in and then resize the box as necessary so you can put the numbers that we need. Okay, we're really close to being done now. 0.88. And now for C, sorry, that's correct. All right, for C we got 1.8, 1.8. So we'll put 0.8 and then stretch that out to make sure we can see it. We got 1.8. So this box is complete. I don't need that anymore. And if you guys really heard the point of the whole lesson was that to do a 180, you have to just change the sign. So I shouldn't really have to do much. I could look at B and say, okay, this is going to be those same numbers, but just a negative version of them, right? So this would be negative 1.8. And then over here we'll have negative 0.88. Make sure the negatives are going to eat up a little space, so you got to basically make more room for them. Okay, you can see that this got a little cluttered with the point and the decimal being all close to each other, so you might need to make a little bit more room so that it's clear what we're looking at. Okay, that's fine with me right now. Maybe it's a good idea to steal this text box or not. It's up to you how you want to do it, but again, I'm going to look at C and change that to 1.8, 1.8. Okay, otherwise you're going to have to resize them every time and just put in the values you need. So here we'll put 0.67. Okay, but again, that should be negative, right? Both of these are changing, so I forgot to change that to a negative. So it should also be a negative. And that's probably why we want an extra space there. And like I said, resize the boxes, and that's why you might want to copy this one so you don't have to redo it every time. You guys will get used to that after a while. So I did negative 1.8, and this slide is finished, and this whole assignment will be done. That's about all I need. Okay, we got all our points labeled. Everything is here. We can see what we need. There's a couple little things you might be able to do. Maybe we could color code these and put green around them or something like that if that's something you want to do. Maybe I need an extra space here so that the pictures, the numbers don't get all cluttered, and I can see that that's negative a little easier. Okay, but this is complete, and like I said, it's up to you how you want to represent this thing right here. If I go a little bit farther, maybe I'll be able to delete that one extra line. We're almost good, guys. So I did it in 10 minutes, okay? The rotation is done. I hope you guys could see that really all we needed was a cover slide. Then you need a little bit of lore. You don't need as much as I did. I just try to give you guys a lot of examples of how you can just give me a quote about your city, show me some of the history about the building we're looking at, show me a GIF of the inside of the place we're looking at, show me why it's cool. Why'd you pick this place? You had the whole world, and you picked the place you picked, right? So these three are what you need. That's about it. Okay, rotation, reflection, translation. I want all the points labeled. Everything should be like this. It's due tonight by midnight, guys, and y'all have had several days, so I wish you luck. All right, good luck, everybody.